Breaking as we continue to track storms across the lower Mississippi Valley. We're watching right now a view from one of our storm trackers. That's Brandon Clement, who is in and around the Tchula area there in Mississippi. And this is an area that is basically in line to deal with a tornadic storm. It's an area that's under a tornado warning, a tornado emergency to be exact, as the tornado warned storm is now just to the north and west. I mean, just slightly to the north and west of the city center, the town center there, but the storm itself continues to exhibit signs of rotation. No doubt about it, a lot of lightning as well, as you can clearly see the number of flashes that continue here as well that are in place. Very breezy times. You can kind of pick out how I don't want to say debris, but sort of the grass or maybe the trees that are kind of rolling around out there in some of that wind, along with all the flashes of lightning with this very dangerous storm. If you're anywhere here in and around the Tchula area, just to the north, heading just south of the Kruger area, if you're in these areas, you want to make sure you're getting into your safe zone immediately. That's where you want to be. A low floor of a sturdy structure and getting away from the windows. An interior room like a closet or a bathroom is where you want to be, because again, this is a tornado emergency. This storm has had a history of causing many issues and causing significant damage. First in Rolling Fork, and then continuing down the road towards Silver City. In fact, we have some pictures now out of Silver City currently, and that's what you're seeing right there. Again, you can kind of pick out when the flashes of lightning illuminate things, but there is clearly some debris. And so whatever this structure was, hard to tell what it was at this point, but clearly it is not upright and it has been mangled thanks to the tornado that moved right on through this area. So we had essentially a direct hit in Rolling Fork and a direct hit for us here in and around Silver City. You can see some cars that are kind of moving along on a road there back on the towards the back there for us, but in the foreground there is some damage that is clearly showing up there. And again, very hard to tell what that structure was beforehand, but the clear thing here is that it is not intact right now. Let's work our way towards Rolling Fork. And that was the first area that was impacted by this tornado. And again, you see people kind of milling out and about there. Clearly the damage continuing at this point, showing up there. There's that vehicle that we've been watching since the tornado hit that is on its side there, and then all of this debris showing up here as well. There's actually another car that's right there. That's another vehicle kind of mangled a bit there. There's also debris around that. And it's off the screen, but all the way to the right, if the camera were to be able to pan to the right a bit, there was something there. And I would not be able to tell you what it was, because right now it is unrecognizable in terms of what it was. Just showing you the power of the system as it moved on through, basically destroying whatever that structure was. But again, you can see there's a lot of sort of vehicle action that's in place there. We've seen some of the emergency vehicles there on the left side of the screen as well. But again, damage here from this tornado that was in Rolling Fork. At the time as it was approaching Rolling Fork, we had some of the storm trackers, and the word from them was it was a large wedge tornado that was a mile wide. And this tornado continues off to the east now of Silver City and approaching and getting closer to the Tchula area, or at least towards the north side of the city there, or the town, and just to the south of the Kruger area. That's another area that could be impacted there, right along Route 49E. I think we have some pictures now out of Tchula there showing you what's going on. Yeah, there we go. There's Brandon Clement showing us what's going on. You see more lightning flashes there. Looks like in this particular zone, doesn't look like there's much in the way of any damage showing up there. A little wind showing up. You can see the tree whipping around just a tad there, but look, the lights just went out, or there's some flashing. So clearly some areas there are being impacted by this storm. Again, in and around the Tchula area, looks like the power was able to withstand that, but they keep going in and out, and at any moment that could be gone for sure. So yeah, this is a dangerous storm as we continue to deal with it here. Moving on through, tornado warning is still in effect here for us for this particular storm. It has been holding together now. We were tracking this at the beginning of the 9 o'clock hour Eastern time, and it is still tornado warned at this point. More visual images coming in from one of our storm trackers. Of course, Charles Peak, always in on these storms, and he is there in Humphreys County, Mississippi. He is driving there, clearly still dealing with quite a bit of rain showing up there as well. Looks like you can kind of pick out some flashes there with the emergency vehicles sort of flashing lights. that are moving just ahead of him there. A lot of lightning associated with the storm that he's on right there as well. And really tough. Again, there's a lot of rain coming on down. So you can imagine trying to pick out and see anything. That's going to be very, very difficult. Not only is it night, but the tornado here would be wrapped in all sorts of heavy, heavy rain. So please, 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 this is not a time be trying to capture video here. If you're in the path of this storm, we just talked about it here right now. It is Carroll and Holmes County. You've got areas there now. Looks like the best rotation showing up just now, just to the north and east of Chula. With this tornado, you want to make sure you're getting into your safe zone immediately. Carl, dangerous storm here for us, but there are a number of other storms that we're also tracking as well. A long night ahead.
Yes, indeed. And let's get you the latest on the radar right now. We've got an ongoing couple of tornado warnings and also a very serious severe thunderstorm warning about halfway between Memphis and Nashville. First of all, the latest on this tornado warning for Carroll and Holmes counties. And this cell is moving rapidly towards the northeast right now, moving down and looking at the velocity. We're seeing a strong velocity continuing, and that is coming towards Meeks as well as Acona and Coila beyond that. Also, I want you to notice there's actually another area of rotation that is now passing over Silver City. That is the town that was just hit by this tornado. That's not being warned on right yet, but certainly something that we want to pay attention to here. Here's a look at Silver City, and it's so tragic because when you look at this area of Mississippi in the western part of the state, there's so much farmland out here, and then you've got some smaller towns, and so tornadoes could very easily just go through farmland and come nowhere near towns. And what happened tonight is we had at least 2 towns that were hit directly by this storm, and now we've got this ongoing threat with these storms as they're moving northeast. So let's jump back to the radar here and show you where this is. And again, we're still seeing some strong rotation showing up near Chula right now, and that is coming towards Meeks and also moving towards Acona. I'm going to move in and we'll get a look at the correlation coefficient. And so I think that is the tornado that was showing up near Chula. So Brandon is near, he was just in Chula where we just saw the lights going out, and he, I believe, is now passing to the north. That's where it was moments ago. And so going to the east here, or forward in time, you can see that there's still some signature showing up. It looks like it has just crossed 49E, and now he is moving to the north, and so he's going to be coming up behind that tornado. So I think this is where the tornado is ongoing here, now east of 49E and near Chula. Once again, it's going to be getting into a very rural area. Looks like the Morgan Break National Wildlife Refuge. The Rose Bank School is along this road. A lot of forest, though. There's a whole lot of forest in this area. And so let's see, what happens here in the next few minutes. But in the longer term, the storm is going to come close to Acona and Coila and also Winona. So in all of those areas, you need to be on your guard. And as I mentioned, you've got another area of rotation south of Belzoni, that crossing right over Silver City right now, not being warned on at this time. Let's also take a look at another tornado warning in the northern part of the state. This is Lafayette and Pontotoc and Union counties, and so this is getting towards Tupelo. And we've been watching a little area. You can kind of pick it out right in there. You see that little bit of a C shape right there. That's where the rotation is, and that is moving towards the northeast. So coming towards Bald Hill, as well as New Albany and Baker and Clariesville. Possible tornado coming your way, so heads up on that. Also want to show you a severe thunderstorm warning. This is a warning for 70-mile-per-hour wind. Chester and Hardin and Henderson counties under warning until 9:45. We're seeing some very strong winds showing up in the velocity data. Not only can we see where there are possible tornadoes, but we can see where you've got exceptionally strong straight line wind. Looking at some of the velocities, that is an outbound velocity of 82 miles per hour. Now that's a couple of thousand feet off the ground, but still, a lot of that velocity can make its way down to the ground. And so this is coming into Lexington right now. Moving towards Parsons. Lexington and Parsons in particular, that's where I'd be very concerned about some really strong wind. Right at the apex of that bow there, that's where the wind tends to be the strongest. Also Bath Springs and Wildersville and all those areas, possibility of 70-mile-per-hour wind.